I told you from the beginning of this fiasco. It's a fiasco, a debacle. I told you at the very beginning that this was Satan's move to try to gain time, but we're not going to give him any extra time. We're going to give it to him. No way. And we haven't given it to him. I mean, he's had trouble after trouble.
The spirit of the spirit. You are the spirit of the Most High God.
Remember, they lied to you again and again. I showed you a video some time back where they said they were not going to, there would be no masking, and then they changed their mind. They said, let's show you that video again. This is a compilation of what they said and later unsaid or desaid or whatever it was. And they said they misspoke. All right, watch this carefully.
I wouldn't demand to be mandatory, but I would do everything in my power. It's like I don't think masks have to be made mandatory nationwide.
Can we mandate vaccines across the country?
I'm not sure I heard the first one. I want that first one well played and with good volume so they can hear it, because this is Joe Biden, President of the United States, okay, at the earlier period saying that he will not make masking compulsory. Just watch.
I don't think it should be mandatory. I wouldn't demand to be mandatory, but I would do everything in my power. Just like I don't think masks have to be made mandatory nationwide.
Can we mandate vaccines across?
Hold on. So he says vaccines will not be mandatory. All right? But then he tried to do it. The court just stopped him. But he tried to do it. It had to go all the way to the Supreme Court. So, why did he have to lie? Start it again and just listen to each one of them.
I don't think it should be mandatory. I wouldn't demand to be mandatory, but I would do everything in my power. Just like I don't think masks have to be made mandatory nationwide.
Can we mandate vaccines across the country? No, that's not a role that the federal government, I think, even has the power to make.
We cannot require someone to be vaccinated. That's just not what we can do. It is a matter of privacy to know who is or who isn't.
No, definitely not. You don't want to mandate and try and force anyone to take a vaccine. We've never done that. We don't want to be mandating from the federal government to the general population. It would be unenforceable and not appropriate.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that guy? He said, we don't want to be doing that. It's unenforceable. Then they try to enforce it. They knew they were lying all the time. They planned it. They lied to you from the very beginning. They weren't looking for a solution because they created the problem. And I told you this from the very beginning. They created the problem. They weren't looking for a solution. They prepared a pseudo solution. And it was never a solution. The idea was to get as many billions as they could in the world to be vaccinated. Population control. That's what they wanted. Not just to control the numbers, that was one thing, but also to have super control. Totalitarianism. And those faces you just saw, they are not the ones behind the whole stuff. No, these are just agents. These are just being used. All those faces you saw in that video, including the president. They're not the ones behind this wickedness. No, they're just being used. There are others behind it. And I'm not yet talking about demons and devils. I'm talking about human beings. These are eugenicists. Hardcore eugenicists.